Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you how I created this fun fold card using the Glad We're Friends stamp set that you can find in the 2022 annual catalog. This is one of the new stamp sets in the catalog that you can choose from. So let me set this aside and I'll show you how I got started. Okay, I'm going to start by stamping the sentiment and the little image. So I am going to ink up my blown away sentiment here. I want to make sure I've got a nice coverage with my memento, and I'm going to stamp it right here in the left hand corner towards the top. And then I'm going to bring in my little pup with the fan, sorry about the rocking there, and stamp him to the right of that. There we go. Now that I have that done, I can use my little confetti image here with the memento and stamp randomly going down the left side of my card base. This is a fun fold that is so easy to do, and I think you'll enjoy the way it looks and turns out. Let's see, I've got those tapped in, and basically what I'm doing is adding a little bit of color down that edge to peek out behind my image. There we go. I'm done with the stamping and I'm moving on to coloring. Okay, I got my Stampin Blends here, and I've got one of my neutrals, number 800. You're going to love these if you haven't already seen them. There's a variety of shades and they're great for all kinds of projects. They're not just for skin. So I am going to color his little ear, his tongue, and I'm going to darken that on the part in his mouth, and then I'm going to bring that in on the other ear and simply finish that up. I've got his ears done, so I can move on to my smoky slate, and I'm going to start with my bullet tip here and my light shade, and I'm going to do this lower part here. I'm going to do this quickly, and I'm just filling in the color with one layer. I want him to be a fairly light shade of the smoky slate, and I'm going to bring that over and start on his ear and do the little area around. And then I'm going to switch to the bullet tip because it's just a little faster, and as long as you use a light touch, you'll be fine. I'm going to go around. Remember, you want a lighter touch towards your outline so that it can fill in and not seep out of that. There we go. I've got him done, so I'm going to move on to the fan. I'm going to do this little motor in the light quickly, and then I'm going to do the base also. And I am simply going to go around lightly, and then to add a little bit of shading, I'm going to shade the top here. One little line across the bottom. I'm going to darken that also, and then this area behind. I'm going to do that with more than one layer to darken it up. So I really don't need my dark smoky slate at all unless you would like to use it. The last thing I'm going to bring in is my light mint macaron, and I'm simply going to add a little bit of color around his feet and the fan. This just grounds your image, gives him a little bit of shadow so that he looks like he's not floating in the air. There we go. And while I've got that out, I am going to also do the little paper streamers on my fan to bring that color up into the image. I'm finished with coloring and I'm ready to assemble. So I'm going to add my sentiment piece here right onto my cardstock and adhere, and then I'm going to bring in my Subtles Designer Series paper, and this happens to be the Blushing Bride, and I'm going to choose which side I want, and I'm going to use the little stripe side for this, and I'm going to adhere this right down onto the inside of my panel. And what this will do is allow a little bit of color to peek out. So I've got even edges around, and as you can see when you close it, you've got this band of color. I'm going to add my pup onto the front here. Now the trick here is you're straddling the designer series paper, so I'm going to add some adhesive onto the left-hand side under the sentiment, and then I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive onto the right side of my card front. And when you lay that down, quick and easy, you've got the adhesive on both sides, so it is secured completely. There you go. For a little bit of bling, I like to use the 2021-23 in color opal rounds. Now, while these are the in colors, I think they're light enough and sweet enough to coordinate with the Blushing Bride. So I am simply going to pick up one of the little ones here and put it next to the I'm Blown Away. And I think I'm going to take one of the large ones here and place it, let's see, to the left of the fan. And then I think I'll pick up one of the small ones again and pop it, let's see, over here above the fan. There we go, just a little pop of color and a little bit of shimmers and shine. And of course you can add more or less of our opal rounds depending on your preference. This stamp set is so much fun to work with its cute little images and quirky sayings. You'll find it in our 2022 annual catalog. It's one of our new stamp sets that you'll find there. And of course, if you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.